Peace. What's good, guys? How's it going? Hope you guys are doing well. Let's talk about and discuss NXT for August the 30th, 2022. Very good, fun, kick-ass show. Go-home show for this Sunday's Worlds Collide. I enjoyed it. At first, I really wasn't feeling this, but what they did last night, hyping everything up, and who we saw last night was just fucking amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode of NXT. I thought it was good. I really did. Because I didn't have high hopes going into this, but after what we saw last night, that has changed my position in my mind, and I definitely am excited. And we will do and go over the predictions for Worlds Collide. So we will do that towards the end of the video. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So we kick the show off with Apollo Crews versus Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller, he made his entrance. He attempted to get on the mic, but he was interrupted by Apollo Crews. So Waller, he wins with the lame-ass springboard stunner. I fucking hate that move. I hate it. I fucking hate it. Waller has got to come up with a better finisher move. He has got to. Same with Carmelo Hayes. It sucks that Apollo lost here. Doesn't make any sense. I don't see why he's losing all of a sudden. It's not really good for his character and his character arc. It just doesn't make any sense. He's there to be a champion, and I feel like they need to build him up being just that. They need to build him up so he can be the one to dethrone Braun Breaker. Moving on. So we had Katana Chance and Caden Carter taking on Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley. So there was chaos in this match. So basically toxic attraction that got involved, that being Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. Their sexy asses got involved. And so I'm so glad and thankful that Gigi is okay. And obviously she's medically cleared, so I'm glad that she was able to overcome her concussion. That's no fucking joke. It's nothing to fuck with. So they attacked Ivy, took her out, and that allowed Chance and Carter to hit the neck breaker into the 450 for the 3. Post-match, Carter and Chance cut a promo saying that they were going to have a big dance party at Worlds Collide. Then out comes Dewdrop and Nikki Ash. And so they came out to a really good pop. And they said that they're going to dance all right, but they're going to dance in the ring. And they're going to challenge Carter and Chance. So that was awesome right there. Then we had Diamond Mine. They were arguing backstage. And all 3 of them said that they didn't trust Roderick Strong at all. Rightfully so. Then out of nowhere, Ivy Nile, she came out. She came from the backstage area and told him, hey, look, it's time for you guys to get in line and start focusing on what you guys need to do. And so Paxley, she has a face guard on, so she's injured. So, yeah. Then we got a really good vignette for Meiko Satomura's. They ran down her history and how she started in WCW to how she got to NXT UK. So that was fucking tremendous. I love that. Then we had Joe Gacy, or Schism, featuring Joe Gacy and forgot the other guys' names. Oh yeah, Rip Fowler and Jagger Reed, aka the Grizzled Young Vets, formerly known as the Grizzled Young Vets. So, Gacy, he gets on the mic and he basically said that, you know, he's all about inclusion and that he really wants Cameron Grimes to join them. You know, he can make wonders and do wonders for Grimes' career. And he says that Grimes is kind of without direction. He's directionless at this point, which he kind of is. And so Cameron Grimes, he comes out, gets a really good pop. And so Grimes has said, look, I'm not interested in what he has to offer. I got both the NXT North American and NXT Championships by myself. I got those matches by myself. So I don't need you guys. And so basically Gacy, he goes real low. He's like, another night without a championship, another night without a family, and another night without a father. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh shit. And so that pissed off Cameron, and Cameron Grimes begins to brawl with Schism, and then out of nowhere, Gacy, he hugs Grimes. He gives him like a little hug, and Fowler and shit, I forgot the other guy's name. Fowler and Reed, they were gonna beat him down, but Gacy's like, nah, forget about it. He'll come to us in due time. So I'm like, okay, what the fuck are they doing? It just doesn't make any sense what they're doing. I have no idea. I forgot to mention that Joe Gacy, he gave happy pins to Rip and Jagger, so they got those rewards. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's like, is this like some Nickelodeon type shit? Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Moving on. But I thought that was really good though. But I really want a conclusion to this story. You know, hopefully Grimes does join Schism, because he does seem directionless. He really does. It's like, he's not doing anything right now. He's been lost ever since he lost to Braun and ever since he lost to Carmelo Hayes. Like, ever since he suffered those two big losses, he's not been able to find himself. It's like he has no idea what he's there for. He has no motivation. So, you know, he has to do something. So then, Roxanne Perez, she cuts a promo. She gets a really good video package. She's on like a beach, and she's walking around and everything else, and she's saying that she's not done with Cora Jade, and she promised that she's going to make her life a living hell. She's going to make her pay for betraying her trust. So that does make sense. So I'm hoping that this feud can continue and last all the way through the fall, and then kind of come to a sort of conclusion at around War Games in November. And I believe that they can do that. I believe that is definitely possible for sure. Finn Balor, he hit up Braun Breaker, so he warns Braun Breaker in the locker room not to underestimate Tyler Bate. Then later on in the show, Butch, aka Pete Dunne, told Tyler Bate he needed to win this for the legacy of NXT UK. Bate, later on, he found Gunther backstage. He pulled up and talked to him. Got a really nice, good pop. Further putting over, like, the importance of what Bate was fighting for. He mentioned their 45-minute classic that they had in Cardiff. That was fucking awesome. If you haven't watched that match, go back and watch that. It was so fucking good. So fucking good. Really, really good shit there. And then Ciampa, he found Braun and he told him, hey, look, This is what he told him. This is what NXT means to him. And so he's like, go out there and win. Start your legacy, but keep my legacy intact. Then we had Briggs and Jensen and Fallon Henley taking on Pretty Deadly and Last Legend. So Pretty Deadly, they win because Gallus gets involved. Also, I believe the Creed brothers got involved as well. So that was really good right there. Shayna Baszler, she warned Mandy Rose that if she fails on Sunday, it would hurt NXT and it's going to devalue everything that she's done, which I would kind of agree with as well. Alba Fire, she is backstage. She's talking to Satomura, and she says she needs to win for NXT UK, and she respects everything that she's done, and so she puts her over. Rhea, she makes her presence known and talks to Blair Davenport, so that was really cool right there. Next, we had Andre Chase with Chase U versus Charlie Dempsey. Dempsey lost here via a fucking roll-up. And this match went on, in my opinion, entirely too long. And Andre Chase got in a ton of offense. He got in way too much offense. Like, I did not like that. Like, if you're going to build Dempsey up as a threat, which he is, why not build him as such? Like, the match that lasted at the bare minimum, I'd say 3 minutes. And where Dempsey should have dominated Chase. You know, I don't get why Chase got in like 95% offense and basically Dempsey was just, on defense. I just did not like that. It doesn't seem believable. Yes, Chase has worked and evolved and all that. I get that, but the way that his character is portrayed, he should be working kind of, especially dealing with Dempsey, he should work as a jobber. I hate to say it, but that's kind of how it should be. J.D. McDonough, he explained his pain philosophy and made fun of Wesley in an interview, so that was pretty cool. So they'll probably have a little feud, those two. I'm fine with that, Then we had Zoe Stark versus Kiana James. So we got a really good video package and backstage segment involving Katana James. She lost to a belly to back, I guess, GTS, which was fucking devastating. Then she attempted to beat down Zoe Stark, but Nikita Lyons, she made a save. So that was awesome. So she's back, and they are aligned again, which kind of makes no sense. We don't have a reason as to why they're aligned. The NXT women's, the tag title tournament, the women's tag title tournament is over. So I don't understand, why they need to give Nikita and Zoe Stark, why do they need to kind of be connected at the hip? It just doesn't make any sense. And basically, Kiana, she runs down Stark in a pre-tape interview. So I loved it. This was great. She's like an office a manager of an office, which I love. I love that. I love that type of character right there. Then we had the main event, Diamond Mine versus Gallus. So basically, Roderick Strong, he got involved towards the end of the match. Chaos broke down as well. But Gallus, they defeated the Creeds via pinfall, so which kind of makes sense. And then post match, basically everybody came out and started brawling. It was just a melee of brawl that just ensued. It just didn't make any fucking sense. I was like, what the fuck? And then I actually looked over at the clock and I'm like, hold up, it's 9:53. What's gonna happen at the last 5 minutes or last 8 minutes of the show? So then we see Carmelo Hayes. He storms to the ring along with Trick Williams, and he's like, look, I'm pissed off that the NXT North American Championship is off the World's Collide card. And then out of nowhere, out comes Ricochet. He gets a really good pop, and Carmelo says this good line. He says, all right, Ricochet, that's the microphone. Better be careful with that. I hope you know how to use it. And I started rolling. I was like, oh, shit. I love that line when he said, I hope you know how to use it. That was so good right there. And then out of nowhere, Ricochet challenges Carmelo for the NXT North American Championship. And I love this. So Trick Williams, he got pissed off. He started taking off his shirt. And then Ricochet does like a black mass, so a tribute to Malachi Black. That was fucking awesome. And then he laid out Carmelo as well with one, I believe. And Ricochet stood tall. So, yeah. And that was the show. So the show was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Really good stuff. So please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below. Let's go over the match card, and I'm going to give you guys my predictions. All right. Caden Carter and Katana Chance versus Nikki Ash and Doudrop. For the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships, Doudrop and Nikki Ash. If they're going to rebuild the tag division, why not start with Nikki Ash and Doudrop? And they can get their names back, Nikki Cross and Piper Niven. Get their names back like that. And send Caden Carter and Katana Chance to the main roster. I think that they will do well on the main roster. And I think they would do well on SmackDown. So that's what I would do with that. And that's what I'm going to go with. The Creed brothers versus Jensen and Briggs, Pretty Deadly, and Gallus. It's a fatal four-way elimination match for the unification of the NXT and NXT UK Tag Team Championships. Gallus, why not? Because you can send Pretty Deadly to the main roster, send them on SmackDown. You can send the Creed brothers on the main roster as well. And you can basically just put Briggs and Jensen in a fucking blender and blend them up. Seriously, just do it. Do it, Shawn. Do it, Shawn Michaels. Please do it, Shawn. Please do it. But Gallus is going to win that one, and it does make sense because you can damn sure build a solid tag division around Gallus. And then you can have Gallus be the ones to send the Creed brothers to the main roster. Mandy Rose versus Meiko Satomura versus Blair Davenport. Unification for the NXT and NXT UK Women's Championships. kind of hard to say. Mandy does belong on the main roster. Mako would be kind of cool to win, but my pick is Blair Davenport. She's someone that you can really make a solid case for, and she's someone that can hold the division down for a minute, because Mandy needs to be on that main roster, and Mako, she seems like somebody who could be like a coach and then wrestle a couple times here and there, wrestle for a couple of the premium live events, so they could do that. Moving on, Carmelo Hayes versus Ricochet for the NXT North American Championship. This is a tough one here. This is a tough one. I'm glad that Ricochet is in this spot. I'm glad. So this is what I would do. I'd have Ricochet win and send Carmelo and Trick Williams to the main roster and align them with Hit Row. And I believe that's what they're going to do anyway. And you could kind of have Ricochet back in NXT for about a good 6 to 8 months to kind of revamp his character and to find himself. Kind of like what Apollo Crews is doing. And I think that's more than likely what they're going to do anyway. So I'm going to go with Ricochet. Main event, Braun Breaker versus Tyler Bate to unify the NXT and NXT UK championships. Braun Breaker. I mean, hands down, it makes sense. Why wouldn't Braun be the one to retain? Basically, just to merge the brand and everything else, I'm still sticking with Apollo Crews being the one who's going to dethrone Breaker, sending him to the main roster, and then Tony D'Angelo will be the one to send Apollo back to the main roster in due time. So that's what I'm going to stick with. But Braun's going to win. All in all, this should be a really fun 2 hours or 2.5 hours on Sunday. I really am excited for Worlds Collide. I think it's going to be a fun time. So I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
To the end.